Alright, so let's get one thing straight. If you clicked on this video, you're probably not here for a discussion of some light-hearted bedtime story. No, you're here because you felt something, had your heart ripped out, shredded, and handed back to you. Because let's be real, there are certain kinds of people who actively seek out heartbreak, जिनको ये सारा रोना धोना, angst, depression, tragedy ये सब एक खास किस्म की enjoyment देती हैं. That's no longer me, but if that's you, welcome. I've got just the lineup for that heartbreak. We're going to be diving into some of the saddest stories that I've gone through across all media, like sab kuch from web series, novels to anime. On number 5, we have a relatively tame choice as compared to the rest on this list, जो कि ये बात जाहिर कर रही है कि मैंने शुरू से ही ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं दी इस specific genre को. And you know, good for me. On number 5, we have Amar Bale. मैंने पहले ये बुक पढ़ी थी 8th क्लास में and I ugly cried. Even though my best friend had already spoiled the ending for me. I knew what was coming and yet it still hit me like a freight train. और उसके बाद फिर मैंने दोबारा पढ़ी. ग्रेड 10 या 11 में आई एम नॉट एग्जैक्टली श्योर, लेकिन मैंने दोबारा पढ़ी और एंड आई ugly cried again. Amar Bale is like a tragic story on a more intimate level. It focuses more on personal grief and unfulfilled lives. The emotional weight here hits really hard. But the scale of sadness isn't as widespread as the others on this list. Which is why I said it's a bit tame. But not really, if you get into the story properly. Still, it's downright cruel how it makes you fall in love with a character despite their glaring flaws, only to flip the script on you in the most heartbreaking way. जिन्होंने अमर बेल नहीं पढ़ी या सुना नहीं है उसके बारे में, ये हमारी मशहूर ऑथर उमैरा अहमद की लिखी हुई एक ट्रैजिक लव स्टोरी है which follows Umar Jahangir and Alize Sikandar. It is set up in the backdrop of Pakistani bureaucratic culture. इसकी स्टोरी में you get imbalanced relationships. The author talks about broken families, lust for power, complexes, insecurities और इस सब के दरमियान all the problems of love, its intensity और जो सारी sacrifices मोहब्बत और love मांगता है. It depicts the true face of our bureaucratic system, highlights the social evils like corruption, nepotism and injustice जो कि हमारी society में आम है. किस तरह at times going against the law is the only way to punish the culprits. The novel really touches your heart by its brilliant portrayal of human emotions and psychology. It's a deeply personal journey that highlights the pain of unrequited love and the tragedy of a life that feels perpetually out of reach, leaving readers to grapple with their own emotions long after the final pages turned. जिस तरह मैंने किया था जब मैंने ये पहले बुक पढ़ी थी और उसके बाद दोबारा जब पढ़ी. Like I did जब मैंने ये चंद लाइनें पढ़ी which have stood out to me over time. वो वहीं कहीं था. इसकी रॉकिंग चेयर इसी तरह झूलती महसूस हुई थी जैसे वो झुलाया करता था. हर चीज़ पर जैसे इसका लम्स मौजूद था. हर तरफ जैसे इसकी आवाज़ गूंज रही थी. वही धीमा ठहरा गहरा लहजा, वही पुरसुकून दिल के कहीं अंदर तक उतर जाने वाली आवाज़, अलीज़े. और फिर वही खिलखिलाते हुए बेख्तियार कह के. इसके कमरे में सब कुछ ज़िंदा था. वहाँ अक्स बन गया था और अक्स हकीकत बनकर इसके इर्द गिर्द फिरने लगा था. I might have spoiled the ending with these lines, but you can still read it because I was spoiled too. और मैंने फिर भी पढ़ी थी 2 दफ़ा. Then we have on number 4 the Pakistani drama series Dastan. It's funny, it's romantic and it's hopelessly heartbreaking. You think you understand why it's breaking your heart, but you really don't. Because what happens to some of the characters in this drama, it's actually worse than death itself. At least with death, there's some chance for closure, maybe even some semblance of peace. But nothing can bring you peace when the person you love is slowly descending into madness right before your eyes. Dastan explores the themes of partition and trauma on an intensely personal level, hitting you where it hurts the most. जिन्होंने नहीं देखा दास्तान और जिनको नहीं पता इसके बारे में, Dastan is set against the backdrop of the partition of India in 1947. This drama stars everyone's favorite heartthrob Fawad Khan and Sanam Baloch. The story revolves around the love between Bano and Hassan, whose lives are upended by the chaos and violence surrounding them. As they navigate the heart-wrenching consequences of the partition, the narrative delves deep into the pain of separation, identity, and the haunting scars left behind by trauma. It starts as a beautiful love story. Man, the banter between them, इतने अच्छे dialogues हैं दोनों के. Like they really sold the chemistry between their two lead actors. I loved both Fawad Khan and Sanam Baloch in it. They were like really good. The characters themselves और the actors दोनों इतने अच्छे बैठ रहे थे. मतलब I think I just received them really well. But like what starts as a beautiful love story soon spirals into a poignant exploration of loss, betrayal, and the enduring impact of history on personal lives. Like सोचा होगा आपने कि इतनी छोटी सी एक लव स्टोरी जो है, एक छोटे से शहर की छोटी सी लव स्टोरी, ये इतना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट दिखाएगी आपको across regions, countries, time periods. Alright, on number 3 we have Attack on Titan. हाहा, मुझे नहीं लगता था कि I could be into anime, लेकिन multiple people convinced me and well, here I am. I never thought I could, let alone want to, but somehow I binged the entire series after the second half of the first season in just 2 days. We're talking 85 episodes here. I went in with doubts about whether I'd even like it, and by the end I was a blubbering mess. Oh my god. It's absolutely mind-boggling and heart-shattering. While it's packed with action, the level of loss, betrayal, and moral ambiguity in Attack on Titan makes it an excruciating experience. आपके beliefs के साथ खेलता है, it plays with your sense of right and wrong, and mercilessly decimates your beloved characters. Like, you feel utterly hollow. And like, don't even get me started on our main character Eren. मुझे नहीं दिखा उसकी तरह का कोई और protagonist किसी और form of media में. Attack on Titan is truly, in every sense of the word, his story. And it's a story that takes risks most narratives wouldn't dare to tackle. And that boldness is what ultimately broke me. Like, bro, the author did not pull his punches. जिन्होंने नहीं देखा अटैक ऑन टाइटन या नहीं सुना उसके बारे में, अटैक ऑन टाइटन इज़ एन एनिमे सेट इन अ वर्ल्ड वेयर ह्यूमैनिटी इज़ ऑन द ब्रिंक ऑफ एक्सटिंक्शन, caged within enormous walls to protect themselves from terrifying humanoid giants known as titans. The story kicks off when a colossal titan breaches the wall, unleashing chaos and devastation. The narrative follows Eren Yeager, our protagonist, along with his friends Mikasa and Armin, as they join the military to fight back against the Titans. But as they delve deeper into the battle, they uncover dark secrets about their world, the Titans, and themselves, leading to a mind-blowing exploration of freedom, sacrifice, and the moral complexities of war. With twists that will leave your jaw on the floor, literally. This series doesn't just entertain, it challenges your very perception of humanity. And it does that when you cry at the wrong scene. Like, this is the kind of series I would not want to watch again, but I would want to experience for the first time again. Which can't happen, obviously. Second on this list is the novel A Little Life by Hania Yanagihara. This book should be illegal for how much pain it delivers. It's like a masterclass in emotional torture. The way the characters' traumas unfold is relentless. And let me tell you, there's barely a hint of redemption or relief to be found. The suffering is unending, reaching an absolute peak of emotional devastation and hopelessness. By the time you're done, you'll be left questioning your entire existence and wondering why you voluntarily subjected yourself to this level of heartbreak. For those who are blissfully unaware of this emotional wreckage, A Little Life follows the lives of 4 college friends, Jude, Willem, Malcolm, and JB, as they navigate adulthood in New York City. At first glance, it may seem like a typical coming-of-age story, but it quickly spirals into a deep dive into Jude's traumatic past, I mean deep dive, revealing layers of pain and suffering that are almost unbearable to witness. As Jude struggles with his demons, the narrative dives deep into themes of friendship, love, and the lasting scars of trauma. So much trauma. By the end, you're left feeling utterly devastated, questioning whether this level of suffering is truly real or if you unwittingly stumbled into what could only be described as emotional torture porn. It has been described as torture porn actually. One of the lines that shattered me the most and had me ugly crying was this line. It isn't only that he died or how he died, it is what he died believing. And so I try to be kind to everything I see, and in everything I see him. My number one on the list is Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami. I think I felt the trauma and sadness of it on a more personal level because I think I just like the characters more because obviously, and also because it truly put the nail in the coffin for me कि मैंने अब इसके बाद कोई सैड स्टोरीज एक्सपीरियंस नहीं करनी है. इसके बाद बस ट्रिगर हो गया था कि no more of this. After experiencing this emotional onslaught, I made a pact to steer clear of any stories with sad endings, much like anyone would avoid those awkward small talk moments at gatherings. I find myself avoiding anything even remotely related to the anime. Heck, I'm not even sure I'll continue with the series. I swipe past any reels or clips that pop up in my feed and I actively ignore articles discussing it. It's just too painful to relive. I can't bear the thought of accidentally stumbling upon a few seconds of heart-wrenching content that drags me back into that emotional abyss. It's just too much. For those who somehow miss the emotional train wreck that is Jujutsu Kaisen, here's a quick rundown. The story follows Yuji Itadori, a happy, sunshiny high school student who stumbles upon a cursed object, a finger belonging to the super powerful and malevolent spirit, Sukuna. Now, Yuji finds himself involved in a world of curses, sorcerers, and a never-ending cycle of violence and despair. And oh boy, do the characters go through the ringer. What broke me though is this particular scene where Gojo, Yuji's teacher, looks at his best friend turned enemy for the first time in a year after he thought he killed him. Man, and the impact of that scene, the larger impact, not just the emotional impact, the larger impact on the plot. Ugh, it was too much. So there you have it, my personal list of the saddest stories that have forever altered my reading preferences. Seriously, after diving into stories that end with someone dying, characters going insane, relationships crumbling, or people turning evil, I'm officially retiring from any narratives that promise sadness. Never again will I willingly dive into that kind of emotional chaos. I don't need that kind of emotional roller coaster because life is hard enough without adding fictional heartache into the mix. Come on! So for all of you out there who enjoy a good cry, more power to you. But as for me, I think I'll take a hard pass on anything that's going to leave me in a puddle of tears. Alright, don't forget to like, subscribe and share your own heart-wrenching favorites in the comments so I know which to avoid.